Hello, my fellow warriors of light, and welcome to another current energy update for the week of April 12th, 2021. Today's topic will be leaving the past in the past. What's that all about? Something my guides have been coming to me about lately in the last couple of weeks as I've been distracting with busy work, thinking I'm doing the right work at the right time, and though it's not the wrong work at the right time, it's not the optimal work at the right time. And what they've come to me with over the last couple of days is this idea that I need to become more focused in serving myself so that then I can better serve others. Going back to that idea of filling your cup to the point where you overflow and then allowing others to drink from the excess that comes out. In my life, what I've done a lot of is just giving, and not receiving anything in return. Personally, I don't need a lot in return for the work I do and for the things I do because I love supporting people and I love giving and I love being generous with my time and my energy. But what I'm also realizing is that it's a detriment to my path and my growth forward at times when I'm not doing what it is I need to do for myself, which is asking for a reciprocal energy exchange, whether it be financial or whether it be a barter, asking for help, reaching out for somebody and seeing if they can help you out. I mean, I've done that here and there. I've moved through the discomfort zone, but still in my past, it's been an issue for me. And what they're trying to get me to understand and understand now that we've moved into this new era, this new time on the planet, is that we are now at a point where we're not the same person we were 3 months ago. We're not the same person we were 6 months ago, and we're not the same broken, traumatized human we were even a year ago. And so all of these little fears I now have, fear about getting fat again, fear about being broke the rest of my life, fear about not being healthy, fear about money and resources, and all these narratives and storylines that have been programmed into our minds through the Matrix over millennia, not just this life, but many lifetimes. We have already begun the point of purging that and getting all of that out of us so that we can then become the beings that we designed ourselves to be before we incarnated and came into form. And now what we also have to understand is that we didn't just design this life to get us to the promised land at this time. We designed all of our lives to get to this very now moment, the 0 point, where we're moving from 3D to 5D. And personally, I think we're actually going to start anchoring in the 6D light code soon. And now it's time to walk into that anointed Christed light that we've become, the Messiah in mass incarnate at this time, and let go of all these narratives and storylines and misnomers and all these ideas of who we used to be, and allow ourselves to finally move into who we are and who we've always been. Now, that's what a big point and a big part of shedding all these relationships we had external to us over the last year or two has been, so that we're not being reminded of the people we used to be, and we're allowing ourselves to move into the light of the people that we've become. Now, if you're still holding grudges against yourself, if you're still holding past programs, past experiences, past trauma against yourself, then you have to change your relationship with yourself, just like we changed all those relationships with all the people in our lives, whether we got rid of them, whether they evolved, whether they matured, whether there were boundaries set. Now we're at a point where we have to leave the past in the past, and we need to walk into this new light to fulfill the role that we signed up for. Because that is what this message is truly about, is it's no longer our life anymore. We lived our life, we lived it the way we wanted to live it, and it didn't work out the way that we wanted it to. So we surrendered to something bigger than us, which was actually us this whole time. And now we're fulfilled on a path of service to ourselves and service to others, finding that focal point in the middle. Because that is where we're at now. We spent how many years on one end of the polarized spectrum, and then we come over the last couple of years onto this other end of the polarized spectrum, and now we need to meet in the middle at the 0 point so that we can actually affect change in the ways that we want to, without having to do anything extra, without having to be anything extra, without having to fret, without having to do anything that's going to cause us to take us out of our living kingdom, out of our vibratory state that keeps us in that place where we're happy, fulfilled, abundant, and not full of scarcity, fear, and lack. So how do we do this? How do we move into this new time on this planet and in this new time within ourselves? Is we start going within. So Thoth came to me the other night, and another one of my friends, about 2 or 3 days before that, he had come and started another initiation ceremony for her. And then a couple days later, he came and started another initiation ceremony for me. I didn't find the details of that out, but I truly believe the initiation ceremony is getting us ready to walk into these new roles we'll be playing in this new earth, but at the same time, to get us physically and mentally ready for the blasting of the planet with the 60 light codes that are coming. Now, I haven't validated this concept or this idea with anyone else. This is just something that's come to me. I had an amazing hour-long conversation with Thoth the other night. It was very enlightening. And what he basically said to me was, I'm no longer, and the way I was imbued, what I had better understood from this message was it's not just me, and I didn't do anything wrong, right? So immediately, initially, when he came to me, he said that I'm no longer on the optimal timeline, and that I have to learn to serve myself better in order to then raise my frequency and vibration to a high enough level then to get back on that optimal timeline and do what it is that I designed myself to do. Being the human that I am, I immediately took that as, oh, I'm not doing a good enough job. And that's not at all the case. We're doing the optimal job. But what they're saying now is that we're so busy trying to serve humanity, trying to fix the world, trying to do all this stuff external to us that we've lost focus on the one thing that's real and the one thing that's important, and that's our personal sojourn, where people ask, what can I do to help serve humanity? Is you better serve yourself. So he gave me a 30-day challenge, and I suggest this for anyone who's watching this that resonates with this content, is take the next 30 days to focus only on yourself, and not in a selfish, self-centered way where you're telling other people to fuck off and all that crazy shit. No, I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is over the next 30 days, we focus on what it is we need to do to get to where it is we're trying to go. We focus on our own health. We focus on our own wealth. We focus on our own wellness, so that we can create more freedom, prosperity, and abundance. But that doesn't mean we don't help people. It means that we don't help people with unsolicited advice, unsolicited help, unsolicited things. Like Jules was saying in the one interview, voluntary actions only. We need to adopt this new way of being, this non-interventionism, because when we've moved into our higher selves, we are now at a place where we are no longer allowed to interfere with another human sojourn, because when you interfere with somebody else's sojourn without them asking you for that help or assistance, you're now pretty much projecting what you think they need, and in reality you don't really know that. We don't know what other people need unless they tell that to us. We can assume we read energy, we can assume we read faces, we can assume we read all these other things, but when it comes down to it, it's that person's right, that person's sovereign capacity to walk their sojourn the way they want to walk their sojourn. And I promise you that if we let go of trying to walk other people's sojourns for them, we'll have complete control over our sojourn. And then all of these programs and all these misnomers that are keeping us stuck spinning our wheels, which we aren't these people anymore, so we're stuck with past programs causing us to believe we're the same person, but in reality, we've already evolved, we've already ascended, we've already become the masters, we just don't believe it yet, and that's what this 30-day challenge is all about. Can you take 30 days and focus on yourself? And this sounds difficult, one, because we've been manipulated into believing that focusing on yourself is wrong or messed up, and two, because all of us are a little arrogant, and we all believe that we're a little bit further than we are. And spiritually, yes, spiritually we are very advanced now. But we're still living a human journey. There's still a human that we're in charge of and that we have to walk this every step of this sojourn with. And that's what our community is not seeing right now. And I believe that's the message that Thoth brought me was, I'm so busy trying to be the butterfly. I'm so busy trying to be my spirit that I'm not completely focused on the human sojourn that is still in every now moment that I have to be here. You can't spiritually bypass the human experience. You have to walk through the desert of the human trauma in order to create the oasis in our souls. It's the only way. You can get to places without doing it, but you'll always hit a plateau. So if you ever find somebody that's not hitting a plateau and they're just going and they're going and they're going and they're going, it's because they're constantly looking at themselves. They're constantly self-responsible. They're constantly self-accountable. And because of that, they're not stuck being focused in the wrong areas, trying to fix things outside of themselves, because in reality, they don't want to do the work within themselves. And we all get there. This entire experience is exhausting. It's long, it's lonely, it's arduous. But if we weren't the chosen ones to do this, then we wouldn't have chosen to do it. That's what's so mind-blowing. The statement, that a clarion call that God put out was basically every human, every spirit in the entire universe was called, but only a handful, which in reality is a lot more than a handful, but in the grand scheme of the universe, only a handful of individual fractal consciousness frequencies of God said, I will go through the pain, suffering, and illusion of forgetting who I am, what I am, and why I'm here, so that then I can help Gaia do this experiment, so that I can help humanity evolve, and that then I can exponentially grow my sojourn. Because here's the key. Everything we do has a benefit to us. That's why we do it. So this idea that we don't deserve abundance, that we don't deserve opportunity, that we don't deserve to get paid for what we do, for our creations, for our knowledge and our wisdom, that we don't deserve to have a wonderful home and jet skis and all the abundance that this earth has to offer, because of all the humans that came before us and put the work in at the right time to create this experience for us. If we don't believe we deserve it, then we will not get it. And that is what Thoth is talking about, is we don't believe we deserve the abundance that we all want. We all think it. We all want it. We all visualize it. We complain about it. We create stories about it. We do all these things, but we don't believe it. We don't believe in ourselves because we're allowing the past to dictate our present. And so that's why we have to leave the past in the past. It's no longer serving us, and we're no longer those people. We've become our higher selves already. We don't have a higher self anymore. We've become our higher selves. We've made our arc. We went down into lower consciousness and we moved back up. Just because you find yourself in a 3D every once in a while doesn't mean that you're a low vibrational 3D consciousness. It means you're just a human having a human sojourn. But for the most part, you're mostly in the 5D now. You're all about that unity and community. But here's the thing, the 6D is all about that externalized unity community thing that they talk about. The 5D is all internal. And this internalized experience will never go away until we leave for it, until we shed this meat sack and ascend into whatever this is. So how can you leave the past in the past this week? Right? How can you love yourself a little more, care for yourself a little more, accept yourself a little more, and gain a little bit more awareness to make this week that much easier, to make this week that much more abundant, with that much more ease and that much more grace and tranquility and serenity and harmony and peace? We set intentions. That's something I've been doing a lot of lately. Set your intentions with everything. Every piece of food you set in your mouth, say gratitude and ask it to do something for you. Say you're eating an orange. Go, please fill me with light and love, tranquility and peace. Please allow my body to feel great today. Please allow my day to be full of ease and grace. Every time you wake up in the morning, set the intention for the day. Every time you're about to go to bed, set the intention for the day. Set the intention for your sleep. That's the work now. The work is doing the work up front so that you don't have to do basically nothing on the tail end, because we are the higher fractal conscious of God that is co-creating this human experience, and everything is perfect, including you, including me, including all of us, and that's why it's time to build the army of energy. So if you liked what you've seen and heard today, hit that like button. If you want to join the army of energy, hit that subscribe button. If you want to check me out on social media, we got Telegram channel, Army of Energy, t.me/Army of Energy. Instagram, Army of Energy, no spaces. If you want to donate to my work and help me build the Army of Energy and help me continue to do this path, I would be so grateful. It would go such a long way into fulfilling my dreams and to fulfill what it is I believe my mission is here on this planet. And if you want to support me while also helping yourself, invest in some dirt or invest in this new Healy resonance device that I've been working with for the last couple weeks. If you want to learn more about those things, then hit me up. But with that, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have an even better evening. I'm so proud of every single one of you. You're all incredible. You have given me so much hope. You have given me so much light. And now I know what I'm doing these next 30 days. I'm going straight into this. I'm doing this completely. I was resisting it because I was afraid of it. I was afraid of my greatness. But it's time to leave the past in the past, and we're already great. So with that, I'll talk to you all at sometime soon. Take care, and goodbye.